Hey Gear Seekers, I'm Nick. Back in 2020, we took a look at one of Cooler Master's first monitors. Now, it was a decent first attempt at a panel with good colors, it had minimal features, but it did have a bit of a high price tag. But 2 years later, we're checking out the new 27-inch 165Hz 1440p panel, the GM27-FQS ARGB. Let's take a closer look. This video is brought to you by MSI and the all-new GK71 Sonic mechanical keyboard. The GK71 Sonic is built with MSI Sonic Red 35-gram lightweight mechanical switches. They are some of the world's lightest linear mechanical key switches and are ultra-fast and responsive. The GK71 Sonic also features MSI clear caps for vivid RGB illumination as you game, powered by MSI's Mystic Light. It also includes a premium memory foam wrist rest to give you some comfort on your extended gaming sessions. The GK71 Sonic also includes dedicated media keys with smart dual touch volume controls. Plus, for Australian and New Zealand viewers, score a bonus Steam gift card for a limited time when you purchase selected MSI products using the promotion link in the description down below. Terms and conditions apply. I've been using this monitor for about 2 weeks to play games on and to tinker with, and I think I've given this a pretty good run to see if it's any good. The Cooler Master GM27-FQS ARGB features a 27-inch ultra high-speed IPS panel with a resolution of 2560 by 1440 with a peak brightness of around 300 nits. It features a 165Hz refresh rate with DisplayPort 1.2 and HDMI 2.0. It's also got a zero bezel design with a matte anti-glare screen surface. The GM27-FQS is a flat panel with a response time of 1 millisecond MPRT. It has adaptive sync and I used it with G-Sync without any issues, and I did test this for an extended period of time while I was gaming and doing all the things that I do when I play with monitors, and it worked well. The GM27-FQS supports 90% of the DCI-P3 color space, and this is not the widest gamut panel, but it's also not too bad as well. The GM27-FQS has a 178-degree wide viewing angle with a 1000:1 contrast ratio. The GM27-FQS also has standard 75mm VESA mounting, so mounting it on an existing arm or any type of monitor solution, you should be okay, although be aware that 100mm is about the standard now, and it's much more common, but most monitor mounting solutions usually support both 75 and 100mm, so you should be good to go. You're not gonna have any problems with it. The included stand is fully height, tilt, swivel, and rotation adjustable. Attaching the monitor to the monitor stand actually requires 4 screws that come in the box with the panel. Now, surprisingly, this panel actually comes with a screwdriver as well to attach it. So I think that right there is also a nice feature, because sometimes you might not have a screwdriver handy, or maybe you just don't have one if you're buying a monitor, if you're not like a tech savvy person or whatever. So yeah, it has a little weird screwdriver. As far as connectivity, the GM27-FQS has a lot of it, which is a step in the right direction for Cooler Master. The last panel didn't have this much connectivity, so it is good to see them actually stepping it up a bit here. It features a single DisplayPort 1.2 port, 2 HDMI 2.0 ports, a USB-C port which can be used for display as well, a headphone output, a USB Type-B uplink port, and 2 USB Type-A ports as well. Now, it would have been nice to have seen the KVM feature here in this panel, and I'm actually sure they could probably add this with the firmware upgrade somehow, but right now it's not there, and I kind of wish it was, because it's becoming like this standard thing that we're seeing with all of these panels lately. So Cooler Master, if you're listening to this, which you probably will, add some type of KVM feature, because I think it would be good, be very, very handy. The out-of-the-box calibration is okay for a gaming monitor. I didn't need to adjust many settings on the panel other than what I usually do is I reduce the overall brightness, because in this room here where I do all the testing, it is quite dark. The other thing I had to do was I turned off the overdrive completely, because with the overdrive enabled, this panel had a significant amount of ghosting. It almost is like, why did they add this feature in the first place if it just makes the experience worse? So it's much better if you turn off the overdrive. I also would not recommend using the HDR mode on this panel, because once again, like heaps of other panels that we've covered over the many years of us having this channel, they just slap HDR on the box and they don't actually test to see if the HDR is any good. Just because the panel supports it doesn't mean it's going to be good, because this thing's only got a peak brightness of around 300 nits, which is just not bright enough. And it does feel quite dim when you enable HDR mode. So once again, it's kind of pointless to include HDR. However, the build quality is excellent. It's very premium and you shouldn't have any issues with it at all. It's one of the thinnest panels that I've seen for a while too, which is kind of nice, and I kind of dig thin panels. So yeah, good job, Cooler Master. Despite the Cooler Master Halo logo stand, the included RGB is actually not too gamery, believe it or not. The stand itself is actually quite nice and minimal, and I think the design here is quite good. Now, it's got an included cable clip on the back that holds all the cables. It's okay, it kind of does the job, but yeah. Anyway, speaking of the RGB, I think Cooler Master's solution to the lighting is a little bit strange, but actually it makes quite a bit of sense. The base of the stand has a little micro USB port on it to connect a separate included cable to control the lighting in Master Plus. Now, it's not the most elegant solution, and I feel like it's a bit of an afterthought, like something they kind of slapped on, but as it turns out, it's easy, because if I want to turn the lighting off, I can just not plug the USB cable in, and then I have no lighting at all. And then I don't need to navigate through some weird menu to turn the lighting off. So it's weird, it's an afterthought, but it actually works out to be better for people like me who don't care about RGB on a monitor. What a weird thing, right? RGB on a monitor. I don't know why they keep doing stuff like this. Not just Cooler Master, everyone. We don't need RGB on monitors. The GM27-FQS has an array of buttons on the back of the screen for the menu system. Now, again, this is not the most elegant solution, but the truth is, once you're set up, you probably don't need to fiddle around with it too much. So yeah, I mean, it can be annoying, but it's fine. For gaming though, the GM27-FQS is really, really nice. Now the colors are great, and it didn't require any tweaking other than what I talked about before with the overdrive, just turning it off. The experience is excellent, and overall, to be honest, this is probably one of the nicer 1440 panels that we've used. All you need to do is check out our mountains of other monitor videos over the years to see that we've tested quite a few. So we've got quite a bit of experience with testing this specific type of monitor. Now, 27-inch panels over the years have become this de facto standard monitor size, and compared to a lot of other panels that we've tested, the GM27-FQS holds up quite well. However, there's a few features missing here that would have been a nice inclusion for a more content creation and productivity focus. The lack of 8-bit with FRC or a 10-bit mode is a little bit disappointing given the price of this panel, which I'll come back to. It's not as bad as you think. The lack of a KVM feature would have also been good, and it's a little bit of a confusing choice given it has all of the I/O needed to pull this off. Like, I reckon they could just do a firmware update to fix this, right? And did I mention again, the model number is one of those stupid long model numbers that companies give monitors to denote a certain feature set that makes sense to the people inside the company, not the regular people. I know I always hang on to this whole thing with model numbers, but it is very, very annoying. I don't want to have to read hieroglyphics when I'm reading a script off a teleprompter like I'm doing now. It's something I say every time, but you know, it's just annoying. Now, I know I'm being picky for the sake of being picky, because other than those few little things that I mentioned, I think Cooler Master did a pretty good job with the GM27-FQS ARGB. Other than that name, that is so hard to say. It's a decent panel, the design is nice, the aesthetics are nice, the calibration is nice, the colors are nice, the performance is nice, and overall, it's a nice panel. What more can I say? I really like this panel. Now, even the price isn't too bad. It's not the cheapest panel. It's more expensive than, say, some of the Asus TUF panels that have a similar feature set, but ultimately it sits right in the middle price-wise and performance-wise. So I think the price kind of reflects that. I hope they decide to maybe drop the price a little over time to make it a bit more competitive, but I think Cooler Master's done quite well here. So if you're interested in grabbing the Cooler Master GM27-FQS ARGB, they're going for around $469 US, around 689 Aussie dollars when they launch at the end of April 2022 in the US at least. They're available here in Australia, but I think only at JB Hi-Fi for now. I don't know if that's going to change, but yeah, maybe they have some exclusivity thing. I don't know, companies do that sometimes. Anyway, if you've got any questions about anything I mentioned in the video, feel free to drop a comment down below. Let us know what you think of the GM27-FQS ARGB. As I mentioned, I really like this panel. It's a nice example of good size, good execution, nice features. And I think Cooler Master was listening with their last outing from all the other reviews that came out with their older stuff. And I was pleasantly surprised here. Now, I know someone at Cooler Master is going to watch this video and they're going to quote something that I said in this video for some type of marketing thing, but don't do it. Let the panel speak for itself. It will speak for itself. It's a decent panel. Also, I wanted to add that for these monitor videos, I like to keep them nice and easy to digest in this type of format for people who might not understand what everything means. And we love to talk about things that the regular user will find useful, and we leave decisions for any type of purchasing in your hands. Yeah, because that's what we do here. Because that's what we do here. Not everyone's an expert, and that's what we're here for, to help you guys out. And if you like this video, you know what to do. Hey, give it a like. And if you didn't like the video, let us know what you didn't like about it. Maybe actually don't do that. Once again, thank you so very much for watching. I'm your boy Nick with Gear Seekers. You peek, we seek. And I'll put a link to this wallpaper in the description somewhere. People always ask for that, and I actually always end up doing it. So yeah, if you liked it, I'll put it down there somewhere so you can check it out. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you very much. Thank you so very much for watching, and we'll catch you next time.